Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And hopefully I didn't mess everything up. What is poppin', Knicks family? Hopefully I didn't mess everything up. I probably said that twice. But anyway, we're just going to talk about some Knicks news. RJ Barrett, Fizdale taking the guys out to lunch. The USA team may not even be favored at FIBA. Let's get into it, folks.
That's the G.
We got a chat built up already. We got Andy. We got a new guy, Kevin, Nate, Guillermo. So let's get with it, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, post in my community section. And before I even get to any news for the day, we're going to talk about a lot of subjects here. We'll probably get into some just regular NBA stuff. For those who are interested in opening night tickets, here's the skinny. I'm going to give it to you right now. All right. It's like this, ladies and gentlemen. The regular tickets, we have 2 regular tickets left. Those tickets go for $165 a piece. There are only 2 left. So if you want them, you better get them. All right. And I'm going to read off to you what it includes. It's opening night tickets. It's section 315, row number 1. Okay. And it includes pre-game group activities. We're not exactly sure what yet, but we will let the group know exactly what we're going to do. All right, for some pre-game group activities. You get a ticket in section 315, section 315, row 1, which is right on Chase Bridge. It's a pretty good view of the court, nice view of the court. We go courtside during the pregame shoot around. You'll be able to participate and be part of us filming a video. All right. You'll be able to get interviewed pregame, postgame, even while we're doing the pregame stuff. OK. You'll be part of the NBK live stream. I'll have a bar stool where I'll be set up so we can do some live streaming. After the game, we'll go onto the court and we'll shoot foul shots. Or another perk that's offered to us by MSG. You'll get to join the group after the game at Clyde's. The group will just get together and hang out at Clyde's and have a good time. And then there'll be prizes and giveaways. Okay. That's the first package. That's section 315, row number 1. There's only 2 tickets there left. 2 tickets left. Now, it's $165. So if you're going to get them, go to nothingbutnicks.com and you can get those tickets now. So you better be quick about it. Then there's section 216. I believe it's row 4, but I'm not, there's a lot of tickets in that area. But it's $145 per ticket. And this offer is good until Friday. Friday at 2 p.m. it's done. All right. And we need to sell about 20 of these tickets. So if you want to get them, you need to get them now. Friday at 2 p.m. it's done. Section 216 is $145. All right. Again, you have pre-game group activities. You'll be in section 216. You'll be courtside during the pregame shoot around. You'll be able to participate and be part of the video before the game, after the game. You'll be able to shoot foul shots on the court or whatever other perk MSG gives us. You'll be able to join the group at Clyde's, and then there'll be prizes and giveaways for this group as well. The difference here is, of course, the view is a little bit different. Section 216 is behind the backboard. I am just being honest with you. It's behind the backboard. And you probably won't be able to participate in the live stream because the live stream is going to be in Section 315. But if you're interested in those tickets, Section 216, $145, you better get them right now because 2 o'clock Friday, they're done. They will no longer exist. They will not be available to us. Okay? So, if you are interested in either one of those packages, go to my website, nothingbutnicks.com. You can see it right up here at the top of your screen, and you'll be able to take advantage of those packages. Right? When you go to the website, go to NBK events right here, and you'll see it says opening night 2019. And you'll be able to get in. Again, nothingbutnicks.com. Go to NBK events, click on opening night 2019, and this will open up for you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll, of course, bring this back up later on in the show, so you'll get a chance to take a look at it. But for now, we are going to talk about the New York Knicks and whatever news is out. There's not much news out. Not much news out at all because we're in the middle of the summer. Well, late summer. That's what you want to call it. That's what you want to say. We're in late summer right now. Not much news out, but the team is gearing up for training camp. They are gearing up for training camp. But what I will do is we'll go ahead and we'll introduce the guys that we have here in the chat. And if you got something you want to say, we're going to take calls. 516-405-2246. If you want to appear in the show, appear.in/NBK. And by the way, pretty soon that's going to say whereby/NBK. They're changing their name up. So the next stream, that's going to be different. So guys who video in frequently, instead of doing appear.in/NBK, is going to be whereby/NBK, but I'll make sure that you have that information. All right, so let me get to these guys in the chat. Talk it up a little bit, see what these guys are doing, see how these guys are feeling. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get to it. Again, we got Nate, we got Guillermo, I think Kevin, and Andy. Kevin, can you do me a favor if you get a chance? And now we got City for Real jumping in with us. If you get a chance, put your name in the appearance so that people can know who you are. All right. So I'm gonna start off with Nate, then I'm gonna get around the block to everybody. All right, Nate, what's going on, man? Hold one second. Let me. Okay, go ahead. Say that again.
My app already says whereby, so I was kind of curious about that. I was like, dude, I guess Appear is not in. I guess they changed the whereby.
What happened basically was taking place is Appearing. I guess they had some legal issues with the name. I don't know why, but they changed the name to whereby.
Okay.
So
yeah, I was kind of curious on that. I thought that maybe
September
something my phone
1st, I believe, is going to be
that.
whereby.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, so man. What's going on? Just go ahead.
So what's going on with you, man? Tell me, talk to me.
Good, man. I'm just the dog days, man. Waiting for basketball season, man. I mean, I don't know what I'm more excited for, football or basketball, right now.
Tell me about it, man. It's the dog days of the summer when it comes to basketball. Nothing much going on. Not a lot of news out there. You know, it can be tough sometimes, right? It can be tough sometimes.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've been watching some videos of some of the guys hooping, man, and I'll tell you what, man, Julius Randle, man, I'm excited for this dude because, I mean, he's already working on his three. We know how crafty he is inside. You know, if he could just play some good defense, man, I mean, he's going to be up there as one of the you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say. He's going to be up there as one of the good players this year, maybe even an all-star. You know, if he can really, he's going to put up the points. There's no doubt about that. I think the rebounds will come. But, I mean, if the Knicks can win, I mean, that's going to boost Julius Randle's all-star status. And, you know, New York's going to get behind this guy and try to vote him in. So
yeah, you know, the Knicks are going to, you know, they're going to try to do what they do. Yeah. Let me get around to everybody real quick. All right, and then we'll come back and we'll just talk whatever we're going to talk about. I guess it's going to be, and I got a few things I want to talk about, but I guess it's going to be a variety show because the things that I'm going to talk about, you know, I'm really going to be able to talk about them for too long. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get around. Go ahead, Guillermo. What's good, man?
Yeah, it was good, Sim. Yeah, just chilling, man. Able to take some days off work, and I put money on I'm not going to be able to sleep tomorrow. Just that's how it is when you have time. You can't sleep. I got my draft coming up. I got the 3rd pick, so I'm really happy about that. Trying to make some money this year. I know that doesn't mean absolutely anything to you guys, but I'm mad hype. But yeah, to this Knicks stuff, I mean, it's cool, man. Watching videos of the Knicks is fun, while the rest of my other sports teams suck. But yeah, you know, let's see what your man RJ could do with this Puma sneaker. And
yeah, man.
Just one real quick thing, man. These guys in the NBA, man, they have no character. Like in terms of like, they're no fun characters anymore. No brashness. It's like everyone's very vanilla and plain and boring. So I don't know. I don't know who the next Grandma Ma. I don't know the next Penny Hardaway type character. We need something, Sim, because it is boring.
We'll talk. Let me get around. I want to talk about that. That's a good topic to talk about. Let's get around and we'll talk about that. That's a good topic. I like that topic, Wormo. Yeah, I like that topic. City, what's going on, man? Say what's up to everybody.
What's going on, Sim?
I'm good. I'm doing real good right now. Trying to manage these opening night tickets. Try to get, you know, everything taken care of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's up, yo. Hey, that's what's up, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the season. You know what I mean? I'm ready to see. Hey, I just want to say something like Gromo was saying, man. Like we need another guy to come in. Remember what Rasheed did? Remember when we had Rasheed Wallace and he got the tech for saying the ball don't lie?
Uh-huh.
We need a guy like that. When we had Kmart down there in the paint, like, you know what I mean? Ripping off his headband and all. We need some guys, although I think we got some potential now. We got some potential in some guys that I think could do it. Like, you know what I mean? But we need a jump starter, like somebody that's going to light the fire on the defense. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody that's going to not be afraid to get a tech because they blocked a shot and the refs want to call a foul. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? My assistant.
That's what I said. We got potential.
My assistant coach this summer got a tech for saying ball don't lie. I mean, it followed some other antics, though. Like he was real loud and da 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 da, and you know, because they called a foul against us, and the other team went to the free throw line and they missed it, and he yelled out real loud, "Ball don't lie," and boop, hit him with a tech.
Teed him up early.
It teed him up. You know what I mean? But hey, man, it was worth it though. It was worth it. It was fun,
that's what's up. Worth it. Yeah, hopefully I got something to show you guys, man. I'm doing some salmon fishing 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, man. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully I come back with something.
Okay. All right. That's what's up, man. Shoot. Getting up early, man. 5 o'clock in the morning. Whew.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. All right, let me get back around here. Oh, my bad. Salmon fishing. Kevin, what's going on, man? New to the chat. How you feeling? Glad you're here.
Good. How you doing, Sim?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Really good. I'm glad you decided to come through and join us in the chat, man.
Yeah, man. Finally on here. Finally not working. So, happy to be here, man.
Yeah, definitely. Any news, anything you really want to talk about with the Knicks, man?
Man. What I really want to talk about is the lineups, man, going forward into this season, man. I'm really interested in the different lineups we could put together.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
there's definitely going to be a lot.
Because we got what,
lineups that we
10,
can throw out
12
there on the floor,
viable
because the
guys who
team-
could, you know,
Yeah, the team
play
is
some
so
serious
versatile.
minutes. So I feel like there's a lot of different, you know, combinations we could do. So I'm really interested to see, you know, who we put together. Man, there's a lot of feedback on my mic. There's a lot of people talking. It's hard to
Yeah.
think.
Oh, so what you got to do is you got to mute. You can mute each person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can mute each person. That way you don't hear them talking and you don't hear their feedback and stuff like that.
All right, let me do that real quick. Yeah, but what I was just saying is, I'm just really interested in the lineups we could put together going forward in the season. You know, because we got 10, 12 guys who could, you know, play some good minutes. So, you know, I just want to see, you know, who works well with who, and, you know, honestly, my personal opinion, I think Alfred Payton and Mitch Robinson would be a good tandem to play together. So, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing play together.
As we're talking, you know, as we're going around and talk about things, we're definitely going to get to that. We're going to come back and talk about
no problem. Yeah,
lineups
just,
that you'd like to see on the floor, and they don't even have to be 5 players. It could be groups. You know, 3 people that you definitely want to see play. I know Gormo one time wanted to see a group that like. He wanted to see this group, and you can see it in one of the past videos, just because they're a mean group and they can play defense and they might beat you up. You know, so he wanted to see that group on the floor. And Tony was like, you know, you need a point guard extraordinaire if you're going to have them guys out there. Yeah. Andy, what's going on, man? It's been a little while since I seen you.
Yeah, exactly. Sim, I was away. I'm happy to be back, and I hope I'm going to be joining in more often now.
Yeah, definitely. And I do want to say congratulations, because we had a VIP member contest. And, you know, with the contest, you needed to do some like a video or a post or whatever, you know, and hashtag nothing but Knicks. And Andy had some really good memes that he did about each person that's in the chat. So Andy wins the Frank Ntilikina signed poster. So Andy, I got to get your information, man, so I can, you know, so that I can send you the poster. And we're jumping right into another contest, but this contest is going to be for everybody. I'll talk about it a little bit later after we talk about RJ Barrett. All right, you know, I'll get into it just a little bit. But as you all probably know, I'm sure you've seen the news already, right? And I had a video out a few weeks ago about RJ Barrett signing with Puma. But I had a question mark, because when he was taking his rookie pictures, he was rocking Puma. And to me, it was kind of a no-brainer that he was going to sign with Puma. I was like, he's not going to be there at his rookie pictures rocking Puma and not sign with Puma. RJ Barrett has now officially signed with Puma. And I, for one, am delighted that he signed with Puma, right? Because, one, I am a very big Puma fan. And 2, well, there's 3 reasons that I like that he signed with Puma. 1, I'm a Puma fan. 2, I just love the fact that we got Kevin Knox, RJ Barrett, and then, of course, the legendary Clyde Frazier, who is with Puma. And I'm a Puma affiliate. So, yeah, I'm happy about it. I think it's a good move, though. Obviously, this is the biggest signing that Puma's had since, you know, they've jumped back into the NBA game. You know, the biggest signing, RJ Barrett. And, you know, signing RJ Barrett, in my opinion, is a really, really good move for Puma, because, you know, he, out of everyone that they have, you got Kevin Knox, you got DeAndre Ayton, you got some good players, but he may be the one guy that becomes a star. You know, he has, you know, a great potential to become a star. And if he becomes, you know, if he becomes a star, then, you know, Puma will have, besides Clyde Frazier, they'll have their first star. You know, and you know, we'll see if RJ Barrett indeed does become a star in the NBA, and I'm not exactly sure what the details are of his contract with Puma, but you can see right here. I'm going to bring this on over, and you can see right here. This is from Nick DePaula. Nick is, this is what he does, is follow guys who sign basketball shoe deals, and you can see the big billboard up. We seen the billboard earlier, but it didn't have the Puma logo on it, but now they've painted the Puma logo there. All right, and you see New York loves RJ with the Puma sign. So RJ Barrett has signed with Puma, and Puma is making big moves. I gotta give it to them, man. They're making big moves right now in the NBA, coming in, signing young guys, and and their sneaker. I'll tell you the truth. The Clyde Court Disrupts. I bought a pair, and they're very good. As a matter of fact, I think they're my favorite basketball sneakers that I've ever worn. I used to really like the D Roses, because they were comfortable and they provided me with the proper support. But these Pumas they're very comfortable, and they look like a sock shoe, but there's way more support than a sock shoe. They provide enough, for me at least, enough protection for my ankle, but also enough flexibility because, it kind of has a sock thing up at the top. So I like them. I'm comfortable with them, and they seem to be pretty good shoes so far. At least the Clyde Court Disrupts were, as far as basketball is concerned. Of course, I got a bunch of Puma Clydes and stuff like that I rock, and running sneakers and stuff like that. When it comes to Puma, but I think it's a good look for RJ. I think it's a good look for Puma. You know what I mean? And I want to get to the video chat and see what guys are thinking about it. Not just what they are thinking about it, but Guillermo brought up something really good, just about guys and characters and stuff like that. I want to talk about that just a little bit. You know what I mean? But big shout out to RJ Barrett signing with Puma. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good move. And Puma is turning out to be the New York Knicks basketball shoe. Smart move by Puma. If that's what they're trying to do. I'm not sure if they're exactly trying to do that, but if that's one of their angles, one of their strategies, to try to lock down the New York Knicks, that's a good one. That's a good one. Smart one. So let's talk to these guys a little bit and see what these guys think, man. I'm going to come to Nate, and then I'll come back around to Guillermo once he gets back. Nate, what's going on, man? RJ Barrett signs with Puma. You like Puma sneakers?
Yeah, I think it was a no-brainer because, being in New York, and I'm sure Walt Clyde had a little bit involved in getting Knox or talking Knox and Barrett into Puma because it is up and coming, and they really don't have a face right now. And, it could maybe be Knox. It could maybe be Barrett. It could maybe both. I mean, it's a good way. It's a good way to market, in one of the biggest cities in the world,
Yeah.
So,
that is one thing about the sneaker. No one really has a signature sneaker yet. So we'll see who's the first one to have a signature shoe. King E161 said Puma is trash. Man, get out of here. Get out of here, King. They're not trash. Puma makes some pretty dope shoes, man.
I do remember when Knox turned his ankle, a lot of people blamed Puma for the shoes. They said, "Oh, what happened with Nike?" But saw what happened with Zion's shoes. When he was wearing, what was it, Kyrie's or something like that, and he blew the whole shoe out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
C-Mac said, "I really don't buy Pumas, but old heads like Sim." Now he's tripping. You're bugging, C-Mac. As a matter of fact, for a while, the regular suede Puma Clydes, where I live in DC, they were hitting in New York too. You know what I'm saying? For a good year or two, a couple years ago, that's when they really start coming back. Rihanna and all them people was rocking them, but yeah, man, I don't have a dog in the race when it comes to shoes, man. I'm not a really aficionado when it comes to basketball shoes. I mean, I just buy whatever shoes to protect my ankle. Yeah.
Just take them off whenever I'm playing basketball.
Talking about, as we're on and we're talking about shoes, Zion Williamson signed with Jordan, You know, I was surprised that he went ahead and signed with Jordan, with the Jordan brand. You know what I mean?
Hey, Sim, if he would have been drafted by the Knicks, you think he would have signed with Puma or Jordan?
I think he still would have signed with the Jordan brand.
Yeah, probably,
of
course.
For a lot of young players coming up, I mean, maybe not with RJ Barrett and Puma, because when he was coming up, they weren't really as popular. But for a lot of young guys coming up, when you're talking about Zion Williamson and those guys, man, you know, they have a sneaker that they enjoy. Why do you think these shoe companies get in so early with AAU teams and stuff like that? Because they're trying to build that loyalty, brand loyalty from the young players. Because if you play for if you play for a squad, an AAU team, and that AAU team wears Nike, right? You become accustomed to wearing Nike. You know what I'm saying? And you like Nike. You know, you got, you know, and if you play for a big squad, because that's who they go after. They go after the big teams first. If you play for a big squad, you might get 3 or 4 pair of sneakers every summer. You might get, you know, of course your uniform will be Nike, and then you get T-shirts, and you might get warm-ups and hoodies and all this kind of stuff. So now they're building brand loyalty. So now then you go to college, and the college that you go to may be sponsored by Nike. So again, you're getting Nike sneakers and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm sorry, Donald Cannon just made me laugh because he said Frank signed with Payless. That's messed up. That's foul. But anyway. And then, you know, so you go to college, and that college is sponsored by Nike or whoever. And so it's brand loyalty. You know what I mean? And sneaker companies are doing that all the way down to, I mean, shoot, you know, even when they sponsor youth basketball camps and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
I give Barrett props because, you know, and this kind of speaks to his mentality. I really am impressed by his mentality. Like, he doesn't want to be like everybody else. He wants to be separate from the group. Yeah. And the fact is that he signed with Puma. It's up and coming. Nobody really knows about it, you know, or they're coming back and there's not really a face. He wants to be that face. And he's like, I want to be my own face. I don't want to compete with every great person that comes and signs with Jordan. I want to be at the number one in Puma and rock it, you know, like, and walk Clyde Frazier. I mean, what better footsteps to follow? Fall through. Yeah.
And you know, I agree with you. I like the fact that, you know, he's not afraid, even though, you know, Puma is kind of popular today with, you know, the people.
But it's not Nike or Adidas.
But it's not Nike. It's not Adidas. Mm-hmm. I mean, let me tell you what. Sneakers are crazy, right? I'm gonna come to Guillermo. If Guillermo's still here, I don't know what he's doing. What was going on? Sneakers are crazy. Do you know? Probably 10 to 12 years ago, And One, you know, the sneaker And One, maybe 15 years ago, the sneaker And One was the number 2 sneaker in the NBA, the number 2 selling basketball sneaker. It was Nike, and then it was And One, then it was Adidas. I don't know what happened with And One, but somehow, I mean, I don't know what happened with And One, but now they're sold at Walmart, right? You got the And One socks and And One sweatpants and One sneakers sold at Walmart, and they look like Walmart sneakers. You know, I don't know what happened. You know, they were once like the number 2 selling basketball sneaker. Now they're a Walmart shoe. You know what I mean? Under Armour, I feel like Under Armour could end up being the And One of basketball. I really do. You know, at one point, Under Armour they weren't going to take over Nike, but they were fighting to become into that number 2 spot. Adidas was in the number 2 spot. Under Armour was moving into that number 2 spot. Now they're slipping. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got Steph Curry. Who else do they have signed in basketball? I'm not sure. There may be someone else. I'm not sure. But now they're slipping. And Puma's on the rise. You know what I'm saying? So now you got Nike, Adidas, Jordan brand, Under Armour, and Puma all jockeying for position in the NBA. Then, of course, across seas, you got Lightning and, you know, some of them other brands across seas. But yeah, those shoe companies, it could be crazy, man. But Guillermo, I want to come to you, man. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying the NBA is a little bit devoid of like true characters, right? Like if you think about the 90s, the reasons why the shoes sold, I mean, I know there was money behind in terms of corporation stuff, but you had a lot of characters that they could build off. You had Grandmama, you know, even Jordan, you know, the whole his greatness and that stuff, Charles Barkley, you know, even Pippen's sneakers were cool. He didn't really have a profile. Little Penny Hardaway from the Magic. You had a bunch of guys, man, and it just seems like when you look at these kids now, they're so sterilized, like in how they, like, what's their persona like? And I'm not saying you have to be disrespectful, but who's funny? Like, what NBA character you like? Damn, he's gonna say something really funny or interesting. You know what I mean? Like even Shaq. I know Shaq always had corny sneakers, but Shaq was a character, and even Shaq now in his retirement, it's like you look at these kids now. These companies have to throw a lot more money. And it's like because they're lucky or they're fortunate the NBA is very visible. And, you know, they create these little storylines, the NBA with ESPN, the 24-hour coverage, and these little soap opera type, you know, dramas with these players here and there and all this emotional crap. But it's like, when you look at these guys, like there's no character. Like you talk to them, there's nothing there that you could market and say, all right, he's playing for, say, the Kings, and the Kings could suck. But we're gonna sell a sneaker because he's that interesting. He's good at basketball and he's that interesting. I just don't see it. Like even RJ Barrett, who I hope does well with Puma. The thing with RJ Barrett is that when you look at him, is like what does he do that's quirky or that's funny or that's interesting? Like what is it that that makes him like galvanizes people towards him outside of basketball? And I don't know. It just remains to be seen. Hopefully he does very well. But you going to Puma is not Nike, so and I want him to do well. So he has to. I don't know. I guess his only route would be to win if he doesn't have a personality.
So let me ask you: do players need that today? I mean,
you don't, Sim, and I agree. You don't, right? You go on YouTube, not YouTube, Instagram, whatever. You create your brand and stuff. But when I look at some of these guys, I think they think in the short term too much, and I think that if you actually did have a personality, you can venture off into so many different things. You know what I mean? You look at LeBron James, right? And people try, because LeBron James is one of, greatest basketball players. But I've seen him acting I know these guys are not supposed to be able to act or whatever, but you see him and it's just bad. Like he's boring. You know what I mean? Like you see him in the commercials and it's like there's no angle to really market him. He just seems like, that Sprite commercial is like, it's like, eh. You know what I mean? Like, what is there? You know what I mean? Like, Larry Johnson, Grandmama, that was interesting. Penny Hardaway, even though Penny Hardaway was a meek guy, he had the little Penny, what's her name?
Penny,
and it's like
Little Penny with Chris Rock. Chris Rock was Little Penny.
Chris Rock did it. Yes, Chris Rock did it. But even Penny Hardaway, he was always that cool dude who had a nasty mean streak on the court. You know what I mean? Like, Allen Iverson. Think about a guy, Allen Iverson. You don't have to go that extreme. But Allen Iverson was always hood, but he was always nice at ball. Like he was a killer. You know what I mean? Like you had the Jada Kiss commercial. Like I miss that type of stuff where it was like some type of personality with these guys, man. You see Steph Curry.
Was it the players who had the personalities, or did the shoe companies and whoever was handling their marketing help them create these personalities? Obviously,
I think it was both.
Obviously, they had to recognize that they had something, right? Because you're just not going to force somebody to be Grandmama if they can't pull it off. Yeah, you're not selling the Abdul Sharif Raheem sneakers and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? But somebody like Iverson, because he was so, I hate saying this, but he was so hood. He was a guy wearing the hats backwards, the tattoos, and that was his person. He didn't care, and he was gonna go out and he was gonna embarrass you. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, there's a combination of combining the two, but I feel like the pendulum is swung where the companies are doing all the work and the players are literally just signing the contract. You know what I mean? Like when you look at a guy like Dame Lillard, I know he's a rapper, but he is very boring. And I like him as a player, but he's like, yeah, man, I'm just doing my rap. I'm just blah, blah. I'm like,
like
I feel you.
talk about do something. You know what I mean? Like
we don't have those type of characters like we had back in the day in the NBA. I mean, shoot, was there an NBA cartoon?
There was there a Globetrotters cartoon? Maybe
Globetrotters cartoon.
Maybe Globetrotters.
Maybe they were with Scooby Doo.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's true. I think they were. I think it was with Scooby Doo. But you know, all I'm just saying is like, you look at guys like Shaq. You look at guys like, and there's some boring guys. Chris Webber is boring. You know what I mean? But you look at guys like Shaq. You look at guys like Barkley, right? And it's like,
right.
You know, even Kenny Smith. He's loquacious. He's talkative. Where is like what? Is it that kids are just growing up in really nice, you know, households now, and it's like there's no like funny uncle to teach them about back in the days, or some aunt to teach them how to dance. Like what's happening with the kids, man? Like, you know what I mean, I don't know. I might be overthinking this, but I just feel very bored by some of these guys in the NBA. Like I get riled up when I see Giannis scream on somebody, but then that's it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I'm gonna get to a phone call, but I think, and then I'm gonna get to a phone call, then I'm gonna come to you, City. All right, but I think part of it is, I don't want to say it, maybe the scrutiny that comes with the NBA nowadays. You know, so many eyes on you, the social media is on you, you know, so many things that are on you. I think it makes some people afraid to just have that fun part because everybody wants to see. Like, for example, who was I talking with? Me and Tony was talking with when we were doing our commercial shoot the other day, right? Me and Tony was talking with one of the producers, and you know, they were talking about how they've worked with Madison Square Garden, but they can't shoot. They shoot the Rangers, right? They've done the Liberty, but they can't do the Knicks. Because when you do the Knicks and you show a player, you know, out at a restaurant, or you show a player doing something other than working out, all of the Knicks fans, and he said, you know, they stopped doing the Knicks because they would get a barrage of responses on Twitter, Instagram, wherever they were. They said, oh, why are these guys eating out? They should be in the gym doing this. Right? They should be working on this. They should be working on that. They should be doing this. And so they stopped producing videos about the Knicks because they got too much negative feedback from Knicks fans, right? So what I'm saying is there so much scrutiny on guys that they're afraid to have those type of personalities because now the social media is so, the spotlight on these guys is nuts. You know what I'm saying?
C-Mac, you can hear me? C-Mac pointed out, and I agree with him. One guy he mentioned, and Joel Embiid. That's one of the reasons why I like him, but also Joel Embiid's from Africa, so right. He might have a whole different, you know, mindset. You know, he just don't care. You know what I mean? And these guys got to stop caring. Like, get off the internet. These guys, and I know you got to go to call. Listen about this. These guys, man, they talk all this trash. If Kevin Durant say, yo, hey, I want to hang, let's talk. Let me come back. These guys, these so-called critics, they'll turn into groupies. They are groupies for these players, man. So stop caring about them. Honestly, you're above us. You're above us. Ignore the haters. If they're giving you rightful criticism, that's one thing. But these haters, these guys who live in their mom's basements, who don't take showers, who are playing, you know, ignore. They're below you. They would kill themselves for an autograph or for attention from you. Ignore them. Man, do you have a personality, man? I think it's only going to benefit you.
I think it's hard for these guys to ignore it now. I really do. I think it's hard. Tony, what do you think, man?
Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is Tower. What up, Tim?
I'm good. Oh, actually, Tony.
Well, let me say this. Let me use Grandma as an example.
Okay.
Of, you know, just a couple of streams ago, he was talking about Frank Ntilikina not playing on the summer league team, not being with our team, and playing in FIBA. Like, that's a prime example of the type of criticism, you know, that players will receive. I also think you don't even have one player on every team that has that type of outgoing personality, where they're able to almost market themselves. I think you made a good point. I think a lot of the credit actually goes or should go to these companies for coming up with the concepts and the ideas and the marketing schemes and stuff like that. Or maybe maybe they're working together with the player. But just to name a few, Joel Embiid would be perfect guy who actually has a personality that's marketable, that's impressionable. Kyrie, actually, he's a little weird personality-wise, but he has the Uncle Drew persona, which is great. I mean, he did the movie. I don't know how many people seen it or what, but I mean, it was a very good movie, decent movie. Like for what it was, a little comedy, a lot of basketball. I enjoyed it. So I think it is out there. And then another example, those slew of Hulu commercials. Hulu has live sports. I think those are great. Now, they probably were created from the Hulu creative side, more so than the players.
Right.
But I love the Giannis one. I love the Joel Embiid one. Dame, not so much, but it wasn't bad. But I really like those commercials. So I think it's out there, and I don't think it's as missing as in the past, because I think in the past it was spread out. So we're looking at over time, and then we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look the same.
Yeah. So I seen Guillermo said in the chat, he said, turn off your social media, talking about the players. Is that even possible it's possible. Obviously it's possible. But these guys, they grow up with social media. It's a little bit different, right? They grow up with, like, social media is like a telephone to us, right? Back in the day, you grew up knowing what a telephone is. You had a telephone, you had cable. Maybe you had cable. I didn't always have cable. I didn't always have a telephone either, but that's besides the point. You grow up with this stuff, so it's something that you just know. It's just part of your life. Social media is like that to these young guys. They're not going to stay off of social media. There's just no way that they're going to stay off of social media. Number one, any brand that they're signed with wants them to be on social media. So if they're signed with Puma, Nike, Adidas, or whatever it is, they want them to be on social media, because every time they post something, it helps the brand, right? So that's probably part of their contracts. And even guys that don't have a big name a lot of them have sneaker deals. They just don't have a big name, but they may still have a deal to wear Nike or Adidas or whatever it is. So, these brands want them on social media. If they're doing commercials, whatever kind of advertising they have, these brands want them on social media. I'm sure their agents want them to be on social media. They want them to be responsible on social media, but they want them to be on social media because it helps the brand. And if you do not have endorsements, advertising endorsements, if you can market yourself a little bit on social media, then you may be able to get yourself some type of endorsement. You know what I mean? So it's very hard, I think, for these guys to stay off of social media. And then, of course, when you're on social media, you're going to get the ads. You're going to get, your name is going to be mentioned in this, mentioned in that. And it's going to come to you. You're going to see it. If it were me, I wouldn't have my notifications on. I could tell you that. Right? But I just don't know if it's possible for these guys to ignore social media the way that, Guillermo was saying, just be off of social media. I don't know if it's possible, with the...
You gotta be a different... First of all, you gotta look at the age off of jump. And obviously the NBA, the players get younger and younger. The older players get out, people get out at an earlier age. So, you know, a lot of these guys, if you're 25 years old, all you know is social media. You've been doing it since 3rd, 4th grade. You know what I mean? And then even if you're an older gentleman or older player, think of it as yourself. Have you ever tried to do a no social media challenge for a week? Or, you know what I mean? It's, even as an older person myself, it's not easy.
It's not.
So I can only imagine
It's not.
a younger person who doesn't know, you know, we know life without social media. We lived life without Instagram, didn't exist, Facebook didn't, you know what I mean? So we know. These people don't know a world where it doesn't exist.
Right.
So it's a lot harder for them.
It is. It is. And I seen Unique Will said Kawhi Leonard is not on social media. That's true. He's not on social media. You know what I mean? And he's probably the exception, though. You know what I mean? He's probably the exception. Think about someone who's not Kawhi, who doesn't have the talent of Kawhi Leonard. Someone who's the middle of the pack, but they still want advertising dollars. You know what I mean? Someone like Spencer Dinwiddie, right? Why do you think Spencer Dinwiddie, mentions the Knicks all the time, and some of these guys say stupid, crazy stuff? Because they know it's going to get them attention, and when it gets them attention, that's more marketing power that they have. Yeah, I mean, when you have someone who's 19 years old in the NBA, social media is all that he's known. Man, it's something, man. It's definitely a different world out there when it comes to marketing and stuff like that. Speaking of marketing, I do want to let you know that we have opening night tickets available. Now we actually have 3 tickets available. Okay. Section 315, row 1. Let me break this down to you one more time. All right, I'm going to break this down to you because if you're interested, you need to get it now because they're going to be gone very soon. All right, so we have 2 packages available. The first package, and there's only 3 left, is section 315, row 1. It's $165. With that ticket, you'll be able to participate in pregame activities with the group. You'll get a ticket in section 315, row 1, as just mentioned. You'll be courtside during the pregame shoot-around. You'll be able to participate and be part of a video that we'll be shooting at Madison Square Garden. You'll be able to participate in pregame and postgame interviews. You'll be able to participate in the live stream. Foul shots on the court after the game, or whatever other perk the MSG offers us. You'll be able to join the group at Clyde's after the game, and then there'll be prizes and giveaways, when the group meets. So now that's section 315, row 1 is $165. There's only like 3 tickets remaining. I'm urging you right now to get those tickets because they're going to be gone probably within the next week or sooner. The next package, section 216, is $145. This offer is good until Friday at 2 p.m. So you need to jump on it. We're trying to sell at least 20 of them so that everyone can stay into this price at $145. 20 tickets. Again, this offer is good until Friday at 2 p.m. We got pregame activities. This is what's included with the ticket. Pregame activities. Ticket in section 216. Courtside during a pregame shoot-around. You'll participate and be part of a video, as mentioned before. Pre- and post-game interviews. Foul shots on the court. You'll join the group at Clyde's after the game. And then you'll be able to participate in prizes and giveaways. Now, you won't be able to participate in the stream because the stream is going to be up at section 315. All right. So make sure you go to nothingbutnicks.com. When you go to nothingbutnicks.com, go to NBK events, click on opening night 2019. All right, and I'm putting the link to the website in the chat. I just put it in there. You can go ahead and get your tickets now, ladies and gentlemen, because they will be gone shortly, within a matter of days. So you might want to jump on it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a link directly to this page, so you don't even have to click around. There you go, directly to that page. Okay, enough with the advertisements, this marketing stuff. Subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. All right. Okay, let's get back to business. The next thing, Tony, since I got you, or actually, Tony, let me get to City, because I know City wanted to say something about this topic, and then, you know, after that, there's something else I want to get to. All right, so I'm going to come to my man, City. City, what's good, man? You want to jump in on this topic real quick?
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, Sim, I just wanted to piggyback on something like what Guillermo was talking about. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, like, you talking about the personalities and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? We live in a different age now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the guys right now, they can't come out with that flair and how all the older players used to be, because guess what? With all of the social media, anybody, they'll get scrutinized real quick for any and everything that they say, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that, like, it's just close like that simple, that if you even try to be a nice guy or a cool guy, somebody on social media is going to blow you up and be like, oh, look at this guy, he's too nice, or oh, this guy said this and that, and then it's going to go viral, and then you're going to get so much feedback. So a lot of the times the guys now, they gotta fall back. They gotta do that. They gotta say, hey, everything is good, you know, I'm this, I'm that, you know, I gotta say the right thing for the cameras, because we got hundreds of people now that'll scrutinize you for any and every little thing that you say. So, you know what I mean? I just wanted to throw that in there into the mix to let people know that that's why that a lot of the NBA guys, they don't show their personality too much. And they shouldn't be worried about what other people think, but at the same time, it's just because of all of the feedback that you know you're going to get if you say the wrong thing. So 90% of the time, you're entitled to always say the right thing. Like, you know what I mean? And not try to be too popular and be too fun or whatever you want to call it. Like, you know, but so I just wanted to touch on that.
Nah, I agree with you, man. We were actually just talking about that. And it's unfortunate because, you know, we miss out on a lot of fun stuff, you know, and Tony brought it up. Kyrie Irving, you know, he has the whole Uncle Drew thing, which was you know, definitely fun. I saw the movie. I enjoyed the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely fun. You know what I mean? And I think they're gonna do a number 2. I think they're gonna do a part 2 to it.
Oh yeah, that'll be legit. I hope they do, man. I hope they do, because it was smashing.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I want to get on to another topic, man. You know, on social media. Speaking of social media,
are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. You're still live.
All right.
You know, and I'm searching right now just so I can show everyone. Right there you go. Fizdale takes the group out, and this is what Guillermo was getting at when he was talking about Frank Ntilikina. Right? This is what Guillermo was getting at. You know, Coach Fizdale, he took the guys out to eat. You know, you see in the picture, you know, you got Julius Randle, Barrett, Fizz was there, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., Bobby Portis, Iggy was there, some of the coaches was there, Wayne Ellington was there. You know, this is the type of thing that Guillermo was trying to get to. You know what I mean? That Frank Ntilikina is missing out on some of these bonding moments and bonding times with the Knicks, you know, with the players and stuff like that. You know, I can only hope. Listen, this is good. This is good. This is definitely good. They're in New York. Not everybody is there, but a good portion of the team is there. They're in New York, and hopefully they're getting some real good workout time in with the team. You know what I mean? Getting started real early on becoming, you know, a good team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on it, man? How you feel? I know I feel good about it. Does it remind you of when he took the guys to, where did he take him to? You know, he took the group to
when he took the guys at dinner?
But he took them to to the playoff game, you know what I mean? Remind you of that? Reminds me of that a little bit.
Yo,
How
Isaiah,
you feel about it?
Yo, am I still live?
Yeah, you still live.
Oh, all right. Yo, take me off live just in case. I don't want to say nothing stupid.
Huh? Yeah. No, you on live talking with me.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you on live talking with me.
Yeah, no, it's so good. It's so good. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to start chatting in the chat and then, you know, have things blow up.
Yeah. Nah. I feel you. I definitely don't want you to say anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? Definitely don't want you to do that.
Well, I tell you, the first thing that stood out in that photo was Julius Randle's sweatshirt. It said "family." You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know what kind of shirt it was, but it definitely caught my eye immediately. And so I think that's, hopefully that's the theme of the team this year. You know, a tight knit family.
Yeah. I'm about to call in too.
And
I'm using my other phone.
Yeah, and that was the post. That's what the Knicks posted. The Knicks posted family. You know what I mean? And the hope is that they can really become tight knit in that manner. You know what I'm saying? If they can become as tight knit as they're portraying right now, I mean that's just gonna be great for the team. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But
Tim, I'm gonna let you get some more calls.
Yeah.
I'm pulling in now, so I'll try to jump in the chat in a few.
I bet.
One.
Let me get to my man Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? See what Isaiah is talking about. I'm pretty sure he's got some opinions on anything that we've spoken about. Go ahead, Isaiah.
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
I'm good.
I just want to say welcome to the brotherhood, Kevin. Kevin is my new man. Kevin is the GOAT. And I want him on the chat. He's been coming to the barbecues a lot, and Kevin's a great addition to the team, Sam. I like Kevin a lot.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Glad he's here.
Yeah, I'm glad Kevin's here, man. So I was talking. I was listening to the chat, and I was listening to what you were saying about the Ntilikina thing, and I'm not, I'm really happy the team is gathered around RJ when they, I think when he did the big thing today, and I love what Fizz did with the guys. That's really important. Again, people, again, I would say that people think that the only team that has team chemistry is the Nets, I guess, but I really like what's going on. I'm not really worried about Frank because last year I think people didn't really appreciate what Frank did last year was that he after the season he only spent 2 weeks in France and then came right back to America. So I'm not really worried about Frank not being there right now for that. It's okay. He went. I think he put a lot of work in last year. I'm not saying he's not putting in work this year, but he put a lot of work last year of staying in America pretty much the whole year. And if you know Frank's story about like his family and his mother, you know that's big for him to go there for only 2 weeks and do what he had to do and then come right back. And you know, for him to play for his country, I mean, we still got pride at the end of the day. He's from France, so he wants to play for the country. So I'm not really worried about that. It's good for the team, though. I'm happy what's going on with the team. I love the chemistry. I love that we're getting it in early. And I love that, you know, we've seen little videos throughout this whole summer of them playing together. Like you've seen Peyton and what's his name? Peyton and Julius Randle working out together. And you've seen like Knox, Mitchell, and Trier working out together. You've seen like little stuff like that. So the chemistry's coming along, I think. And I'm excited, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Sim, I really don't think we should like if we're gonna have like talking about. I don't feel like we should kill Frank for not being there.
Well, I mean, I was just saying this is what that's what Guillermo was talking about. That's what Guillermo was saying. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to kill Frank. I'm just saying that's what this is what Guillermo was saying.
Oh yeah. Like I said before, like he sacrificed last year to when it was really. I mean, it was important for him to stay here. He went to France for 2 weeks. I mean, let him. If he's still playing basketball, he's still playing. He had a good game. Couple nights ago. I think he had like 12 points. And
FIBA is right around the corner. Guys will be, teams are. We're going to talk about FIBA in just a little bit. But this weekend actually starts the FIBA tournament. You know what I mean? Starts the FIBA tournament, so Frank will be in action. And I seen Guillermo raise his hands in the air. Guillermo, we weren't talking bad about you, man. I was just saying, this is what you were talking about, that Frank is missing some of this chemistry building. That's all. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, Simeon, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? How are you?
You know who this is, right?
Yeah, this is Bobby, right?
Yeah, from Vermont, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on with you? How you feeling?
Good. Do you see that thing about R.J. Barrett?
Yeah, he signed with Puma.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm a big Puma fan. You know what I mean? So
yeah, me too. Remember back in the old days, they used to call the kids with the cool shoes that, and then skips for the other shoes. I always got the skips, the cheap ones.
So
do you think that Knicks can actually sneak into the 2019 playoffs?
Say that again?
Do you think they could make the playoffs this year?
I mean, you know what? We've been over this a lot about the Knicks.
Yeah.
Everything's, a lot is going to depend on. It's just going to depend on. I don't want to say it's going to depend on how well this team can come together. Really,
right?
In my opinion, that's what it's going to depend on. How well this team can come together. Can Fizdale bring something out of them that makes them overachieve?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's going to depend on those things. Can Fizdale bring something out of them that makes them overachieve? Can the young guys take steps forward, like we were just talking about Frank Ntilikina, like Dennis Smith Jr., Kevin Knox? Can they take a step forward?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a big thing right there. We really do need those guys, these young guys, to take a step forward if you want to, talk about these guys and making the playoffs. And then you probably need some things happen to other teams outside of the Knicks. You're gonna need some teams to falter a little bit, fall a little bit down in the standings. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but what I'm saying is, maybe the team just isn't clicking.
Have a bad
just
year.
Not playing well, things like that.
Yeah, true. Do you think any teams could do that?
It's hard to say. someone was asking me before in the last stream, maybe it was the stream before the last stream, why am I so high on Miami? Maybe Miami is one of those teams that I think they're going to be in the playoffs, but maybe they're a team that it just doesn't work with Jimmy Butler. We'll see if Jimmy Butler is, can bring a team together on his own. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Toronto. I know last year when Kawhi Leonard was out, Toronto still played well. But, team can do that for a couple of games when they feel like, our guy is here. You know what I'm saying? Our main guy can, he's going to be playing. You can do that. But when it's different when he's actually finally, when he's gone and that player is not going to be there, it could be a little bit different. So we're going to see if the Toronto Raptors can actually maintain without having Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. That's true.
And then, look, Brooklyn is no lock. The hype around them is because they got Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
right?
because
Kevin
he's
Durant,
still hurt too.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is not playing. So they've changed the interworkings of that team. Listen, anytime you have a team and you add one player, you can have 15 players on a team. You lose one and add another, you've changed the chemistry of that team, and you now have a different team. You know what I'm saying? Because personalities are different. So the Nets, even though you can say, well, they upgraded because they added Kyrie Irving over D'Angelo Russell. True. Basketball wise, you upgraded. But how did things work as far as the chemistry is concerned? You know what I mean? And that is a legitimate question, a very legitimate question. Kyrie Irving can come in and be great. I'm not saying he's not going to, but still, you've changed the chemistry of your team. Kyrie Irving, DeAndre Jordan. It's going to change the chemistry of your team. And you don't know if that chemistry is going to work the way that you think it's going to work. And I'm going to say this as well. The Nets were a team that overachieved last year. I don't even think they were they were supposed to make the playoffs. They weren't, most people didn't think
a lot of people didn't pick them.
Right? They came together. They brought it together. They overachieved. Now, we don't know. Was that an aberration for the Nets? Was it an aberration or is it real? You don't know because we didn't get a chance to see, can they do it another year and another year? Nope, they did it 1 year. We knew that they played hard and all that stuff. Good. They did it 1 year. Then they went and got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, DeAndre Jordan. So we don't know. Is it an aberration? Was last year an aberration or was it real? Now, if last year was an aberration, and they come back down to the norm, then, I don't know. We'll see. So I'm not going to say the Nets will probably make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Right. But we'll see how things work. And maybe they end up being one of those teams that could surprisingly slip out. You never know.
So who do you like in football then?
Oh, I'm a Giants fan, man.
Yeah, they're going to have a good year this year. I think they're going 11-5 this year.
I hope so.
That's my prediction.
11-5 would be beautiful. It'd be beautiful.
And Eli have a good, if he has to leave, he will have a great year before he leaves.
You say Eli's going to have a great year before he leaves?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, so...
Hey, what are you doing that game against the Jets and the Giants? Are you going to be able to make it?
Let me ask you this. If Eli has a really, really good year, what do you do next season?
I don't know. I think in my opinion, I keep him.
Okay.
Like, Brady's playing he's up to 40 now. I think he's 40 years old now, 41. Tomorrow's my birthday. I turn 51.
Ah, happy birthday, man.
That's a big day.
51 years old.
Yeah, I'm going to be old fart. No, about 10 more minutes. I'll be at 41. So, yeah, are you busy November 10th at all?
November the 10th?
Yeah, Jets and Giants.
Say that again?
They played the Jets and the Giants together at MetLife Stadium.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I probably won't be at the game, but I'll be watching.
Really? You can't make it? Because Mr. Bad Dog Chris is going to be there. A lot of people are going to be there.
Yeah, they're going to be there. Are they going to be at the game or are they tailgating the game?
No, they're going to be at the game, too.
Game?
Well,
yeah, I'm not
Chris
sure.
is trying to get, what are those, luxury boxes so we could go all together in one spot.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to make the game, but I'll be watching. You better believe that one. And I'll probably be watching with Guillermo because Guillermo's a Jets fan.
Person.
You know, Guillermo's a Jets fan. But hey, Bobby, I appreciate you calling in. I'm glad you
Yeah, I know. I talk too much. But you're awesome, guy. I like you, Simeon. You're awesome.
I appreciate you, bro. Have a great night. And happy birthday to you, man. Happy birthday.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day yourself.
Right, later.
Okay, bye now.
Yeah, man. For the Knicks to get up there, it's gonna take some good things to happen. But let's start off building that chemistry first, like they're doing. Fizdale took the guys out to eat, for a nice little lunch. Start building that chemistry from there, and see what happens for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? Isaiah, come to you real quick, Isaiah. Isaiah, you there?
Oh.
What's going on? What these guys talking about in the chat, man?
Hey, what's up, Sam?
Yeah, what these guys talking about in the chat?
We're talking about some stuff that's irrelevant. Don't worry about it.
Oh, not relevant? Okay, yeah, I don't want to get into that.
It's about a former player. We're not going to speak about his name. Okay. He's not even with us no more.
All right, I'm with it. Well, let's talk about some FIBA basketball.
Yes, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it.
Right, want to get to a little, just a little bit, not a whole lot.
Yep.
Right, because, and here's why I want to get to some FIBA basketball, ladies and gentlemen. The USA basketball team. Isaiah, what do you think about this the USA basketball team?
Sam, how can I say it? I get why players aren't participating. I get it, but at the same time, it's a little disappointing because of we lost to Australia. No disrespect, but they didn't even have Ben Simmons. I don't think they even had Andrew Bogut, and I feel like our team is very small. Like the U.S. team is very small this year. Like they have no real bigs, and it's like you got Kimba and Middleton as like the veteran leaders, and no disrespect to those guys, but it's like it's like and it's like I don't know. It's just weird because it's like so many players are just when you have dudes like Shamit talking about he doesn't want to play, you got an issue. And we got to do better at promoting the FIBA championship, because I just think a lot of these players are just just throwing it away. And then my thing is this though, I think this should be a rule.
You think it should be what?
I think this should be a rule. If you're gonna play FIBA, you should be the first to get first dibs of the USA spot for the Olympics. Because don't skip FIBA and then just try to get the glory of the Olympics.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that could end up being something. You know what I mean? Guys are putting in time to play FIBA, and then when the Olympics roll around, then the big dog's gonna want to come out and participate in the Olympics.
Don't do that. No, if you're gonna play FIBA, I respect that, and I think, and I wouldn't, and it wouldn't put it past me if Greg Popovich did that. If that, you play FIBA. You aren't one of those dudes that you only come to get to the Olympics. No, you're gonna play. You're gonna get on their team, and then everybody else, you got to try out. And Greg Popovich I think he's the best coach to crush your ego.
Uh-huh.
I think he's the best coach to crush your ego and be like, no, you didn't want. You remember you said you didn't want to play. Nope, you gotta try out, and maybe you might get onto the roster. I respect it. I would rather carry a team that actually wanted to play and do the small games during the Olympics and maybe lose, or just get the guys that, now, the TV's on us, the camera's on us, everything is the glitz and glamour of the Olympics, and now we want to play. No.
Yeah.
Let the guys who earned it. Let the guys who earned it go first.
Yeah. The only thing that I say to that is if USA does not win this year, you might say, we got to make sure we bring back these guys, because they put in the time for the World Cup. But if they don't win it, you can guarantee they're going to be like, okay, we need to make sure we get some players because they want to win. You know what I'm saying? They want to win for the country. I want to get Andy in on this conversation because right now, what I want to look at is the rankings, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take just a minute and look at the FIBA rankings. All right, so on your screen, you can see the rankings, and maybe you can't see the rankings. I'll call it out for you. I'll read it out for you. Right? I'm not going to read out every one. I'm going to cut to the chase. Let's cut to the chase here. Let's just go all the way down and scroll all the way down. Number 1 is Serbia. And number 2 is the U.S. I know the U.S. lost to Australia. By the way, they did beat them by 16 the game before, and then they lost to them by 6. Not lost to them by 16, and then they lost to Australia. Should the USA team be favored or not? You look at the team. This team can be questionable. Right, we're going to take a look at the roster real quick, if I can find them. USA, here we go. All right, you can see right here, you can see a picture of the guys that's on the team. All right, but we'll go ahead and we'll break it down anyway and take a look at the roster and all that good stuff. Okay, Harrison Barnes, Jaylen Brown, Joe Harris, Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton, Donovan Mitchell, Mason Plumlee, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Miles Turner, Kemba Walker, Derek White. All right. These are the guys on the USA roster. Can they get it done? Can these guys get it done? I don't know. FIBA starts this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what the schedule is. Let's take a look at the schedule. Sunday, USA, we play the Czech Republic. Tuesday, we play Turkey. Thursday, we play Japan. This is next week. I think that should be light work with those guys. You know what I mean? I don't foresee a problem defeating those teams. It's when we get into the later rounds of the World Cup that, maybe there's going to be some issues because there's going to be some tougher teams there and teams that have NBA players on them. Teams that have multiple NBA players on them. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. USA begins playing September 1st. That's this Sunday. Frank Ntilikina with France. They're also going to begin playing this weekend. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at France's schedule so you know when Frank Ntilikina is going to be playing. Too bad we didn't get a chance to see Julius Randle play with Team USA. I would have loved to see him play with Team USA. France, they play Sunday, September 1st. So you get a chance to see Frank Ntilikina play this Sunday. All right. So make sure you check Frank Ntilikina out And then on Monday night, we'll talk about Frank Ntilikina. We'll also talk about Team USA. But I want to get to my man Andy. See what Andy's talking about here. All right. Andy, let me get you over here, my brother from across the pond. What's going on, man? FIBA basketball, Team USA is going to begin playing Sunday. Frank Ntilikina is going to begin playing Sunday with France. What do you think? What do you think? What's happening? What do you think is going on with FIBA? Who do you think is going to take it?
You know what? It's going to be hard because it's a complicated tournament scheduling thing and stuff like that. Because they play in groups, they then advance to another group round and stuff like that, and they, it's a complicated, the pointing system. Then when it comes to the bracket, it's going to be most important because one loss can, send you back home, and that's when USA is going to have the first real game because at their group they're going to probably whoop all the teams, so they're going to advance. And the second round, they're going to have probably Greece. I'm expecting Greece to advance from their group. And the other team that's going to advance probably is going to be Montenegro or Brazil. So those teams are also easily going to be beaten by USA. But when it comes to the bracket, and it depends how many points our team's going to have. It's going to be the first real game for Team USA. And to add to the ranking stuff that you said that Serbia got the first spot, this ranking system actually is pretty weird for me because I don't know how a team that lost one game in the last 13 years drops a spot. that's silly for me. But it's also like I see at these rankings and teams that got like Poland, they have the 20 couple of spots. Those guys are weak in Europe. You know what I mean? It's like there's like mediocre team here, and they got like a 20th spot in the world. So it's shocking for me. But it's also it's a stupid pointing thing. I read about it because I was in shock when USA lost the first spot. They added points for playing with better teams. You got more points for worse teams. You got less points and stuff like that. So it's really weird for me. So yeah, that.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that they went. They do a point system instead of just evaluating the teams. The one thing I'm gonna say about the Team USA though is, they're a team just kind of thrown together, and that's gonna be that's not in it to their benefit. You know what I mean? They may have more.
You know what? I'm actually pretty sure they're not gonna win it. I could bet like 90% of my money they're not going to win it this year. I'm pretty sure some team is going to shock them in the brackets, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be the first bracket game that they're going to lose. There are plenty of teams that I analyze the teams that can advance and meet them in the second stage and stuff like that. In the second group stage, it's going to be easy still because, like I said, it's going to be only Greece. But in the bracket stage, they can really, drop on a team like Serbia. And even at the first game, they don't have to wait to the finals to meet them. So that's going to be an interesting game. And I thought about it. I found like 4 or 5 teams that actually can, give USA some hard games. So it's not going to be a cakewalk for them this year.
Yeah. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for them either. We'll see how Sunday. We start Sunday, so we'll see how it's gonna go. We'll see what things are gonna look like on Sunday, man. Yeah. But getting back to the Knicks, man. Anything? I think it was Kevin wanted to talk a little bit about lineups. Lineups?
We were having that chat in the appearing. So
say that again.
We were having that chat in the appearing also. He's a fun guy, so.
So, what kind of lineups do you want to see? Then I'm gonna get to Kevin.
You know what? I'm actually thinking about the point guard position. I'm pretty sure we're gonna start Alfred Payton. Kudos to City for Real. I'm actually high on Peyton as well. I don't think Dennis Smith Jr. is going to get the starting spot. But I saw like 80% probably of the fans are thinking he got it locked in. I'm surprised that that's the notion going around. And it's like you said, it's going to be like 3-4 man guys rotation. It doesn't have to be the whole 5. You can always plug in 1-2 players, just to run around with the system. I hope that we're going to have it, this year. But it's going to be those 3-man rotations that's going to be most important.
Yeah. I want to see what kind of defensive lineups he can put on the floor, that are really going to be effective. We still don't have, a plethora of two-way players, in my opinion. You still got some guys, some can play defense, some can play offense. Maybe a couple guys can go both ways. But we still don't have a lot of guys that are two-way players. You know what I mean? I'm interested to see how he mixes up those lineups. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'm actually pretty sure like Randall and Mitch are gonna mesh really good because Randall, his defense isn't, his top skill. So even if a guy passes him, Mitch is gonna be standing right there just to have an additional block from like the help blocks. So I think those guys gonna benefit off each other really good. Also, Randall has an outside game, so there's going to be more plays and room in the paint for Mitch. I think those guys are going to be really a good tandem. Like you said, the two-way guys. Morris is going to be a good one because he also has he developed a shot lately, and he can shoot the ball from 3. He has a mid-range game. He has those fadeaway jumpers. He takes the open shot. So he has the most, I think, maybe polished game when you're speaking about two-way players. Probably him. And we're gonna see how the young guys incorporate to the system and the team. Because I'm still not sure if RJ is going to be starting, if he's going to be playing that much minutes, and how he's going to be playing with those guys. He's a young guy, didn't prove anything in the NBA still, so it's going to be I'm curious to see how he's going to work with these guys.
Yeah. All right, let me get over here. Let me get over here to Kevin. All right, because I know Kevin wanted to talk a little bit about this topic. Kevin, we're talking about lineups, man.
What's up, Sin? Yeah, he said a lot of what I wanted to say. I'm a big Elfrid Payton fan. I want to see what him and Mitch Robinson do together. But even deeper than that, I just wanted to touch on, I know you had that whole topic about Mitch Robinson, given the starting job. But did anybody come out and say he was the starting center, or did they just say Bobby Portis was coming off the bench for another center?
I think
obviously it's implied, Mitch would probably be the starter, but nobody necessarily came out and said Mitch is a starter, right?
I think Bobby Portis was told when he was meeting with the Knicks, I think Bobby Portis was told that he'd be backing up. According to Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
That he'd be backing
I agree with that, but I'm just saying,
Robinson.
maybe they start Randall at center. I'm just saying for a possibility, it's not necessarily guaranteed that Mitch is starting at center. Would you agree with that or disagree?
Say that again? I think I missed that.
Well, you're saying, Bobby Portis was told he's coming off the bench, but did they tell him in the interview, who he's coming off the bench for to start?
I think so. I think they told him that he'd be starting behind Mitch Robinson.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that for sure, so I was just wondering. But, anyway, I'm a huge Mitch Robinson fan, so I'd love to see him start. But even so, we have so many different options for lineups. I mean, like I said, you could put start Julius Randle at the 5 if you wanted to. He's done it before, so there's so many different ways we can go with this lineup. I just want to see, who gets the majority. Sorry, I had to mute somebody. I just want to see who gets the majority of the minutes at the center and power forward spot. How they work that out exactly. and then where RJ Barrett fits into the rotation, because it's hard for me to find minutes for RJ in my mind. Because if you ask me, I think Dennis Smith Jr. is the guy who's going to get every opportunity, and then you have Elfrid Payton coming up behind him. Then you go to the 2 spot, Cheer's got to get his minutes for sure. RJ Barrett's definitely got to get some minutes, but I mean, I'm a huge Damian Dotson fan. I mean, I thought he did some good things for us last year, and even since he's been here. So, I mean, it's hard to say. That's why I'm wondering, like, what players they play together in terms of these lineups, because there's so many different ways they can go with it.
There's a lot of different ways, and I've been thinking about lineups myself. Now, I think that RJ Barrett is going to get plenty of playing time. But lineups, I mean, you're right. There's so many different ways they can go, and there's going to be a lot of guys that is going to be worthy of being in the rotation. I'm not even talking about starting, just being in the rotation.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like the idea, like someone was saying before, of having a veteran lineup and then a young lineup, right? So if you had a veteran lineup, you might have Elfrid Payton in that veteran lineup, Wayne Ellington in that veteran lineup, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, and then maybe Taj Gibson or Bobby Portis or whoever, starting at the center spot. And I don't have a problem with Taj Gibson being at the center spot, even though he's I think he's 6'10". He's strong. He can play defense, and a lot of teams like to go small anyway.
I'm a fan of Taj Gibson as well.
And then you have a young lineup of Dennis Smith Jr. Maybe at the 2 is RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox. At the 4, Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis. And then at the 5, Mitchell Robinson. I could see that, and it could work, even though you have, Bobby Portis is 6'11" and Mitch Robinson is 7 foot. Bobby Portis plays a little bit more on the perimeter because he can knock down threes, although he can post up, but he can spread the floor so that Mitchell Robinson can have the lane, to catch oops coming down the lane. That's kind of a young lineup, even though Mitchell Robinson Bobby Portis is maybe a little bit older. Someone would have to be in that young lineup. And then you can't forget Ignas, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. Ignas, you got to get him some minutes for sure.
So there are definitely a lot of ways. If you want a defensive lineup, and I'm not talking about starting or not starting right now. I'm just talking lineups of young players and older players, right? So regardless of who's starting and not starting, I'm just speaking lineups. You can do a lineup if you're talking a defensive, like a really gritty defensive lineup. Well, that first group that I said would probably be a pretty good defensive lineup. With Elfrid Payton, Wayne Ellington, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, because all those guys will be able to fill in for Julius Randle if he's not getting it done defensively. And then a Taj Gibson. I mean, that's a pretty defensive lineup. That may be one of your top defensive lineups. And if you're talking defensive lineups, maybe you put Damian Dotson in for Wayne Ellington. Frank Ntilikina can be there for Elfrid Payton. If you're talking defensive lineups, it still remains to be seen what Iggy can do as far as defensively in the NBA, playing defense against NBA players. But I think he's smart enough to know his limitations, and so that he can understand angles to be able to play defense. Because there's some players that don't have the foot speed and all that stuff, but they understand angles and they have good footwork and they just are smart defensively, and they're able to pick whoever they're defending. They're able to pick that person apart defensively and break them down in their head to understand what this person can and can't do, what they like to do, and then use that against them. So we'll see what Iggy fits into that whole process as well. So there are so many different lineups that the Knicks can go with, and you just got to be smart when Fizdale is putting these lineups together. It's just gonna have to be smart, putting putting the pieces together. When you're putting
it's going to be a learning curve, in my opinion. I feel like he's going to be learning just like us because he's got so many new people on this team. It's going to take a while to figure out who meshes with who exactly, who does the best together.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be tough for him to get off on a good foot. I feel like it's going to take some time. So he might get off to a slow start, but I feel like once he figures out the lineups, I feel like we're really going to take off.
Yeah. One of the things that's going to be challenging, is well, let's hope that Dennis Smith Jr. has definitely improved.
I would say he's the most important player going into this season for us in terms of improving. For
really
sure.
hoping that he improved that jump shot because having we've got to have a point guard. You got to have a point guard that can spread the floor and knock down some of them open shots.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of his summer workouts where he's running pickup games. He was just dribbling down and just shooting pull-up threes and hitting them like it was nothing. So I mean, if he could sort of translate that into this season, I mean, I feel like that would be a huge help for us. If he's a threat as soon as he crosses half court, where he could just pull up and hit a three, people are going to have to come up and guard him. And then when they do that, he's able to drive right by him because they're not really respecting his shot right now. So if he's able to, establish that as, a good part of his game, the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's how I feel.
Definitely. Let me get over here. Let me see what Nate wants to say.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, Sim. So we're talking about lineups. One lineup I would love to see, and me, I side more on the defensive side and kind of the toughness side. So probably won't be a lot of shooting in this lineup. But I would love to see Elfrid Payton at the 1, Ntilikina at the 2, Iggy at the 3, Morris at the 4, and Mitchell at the 5. I just think that they're probably the toughest minded. Some of those players are the toughest minded on the team, but also too, they're defensive minded in that aspect. Now, shooting wise, none of them can really shoot, so definitely not going to score a lot of points. But I just love Morris's toughness. I think Morris is going to bring some toughness that we haven't seen as a Knick since Kurt Thomas. And of course Mitch is going to bring it. But I really like the idea of maybe pairing Ntilikina and Elfrid Payton together. I really think both are long point guards that are very unselfish players, and they could play off each other.
But who's going to shoot it? I mean,
I know that's
one,
the problem.
You got to have from your shooting guard and your point guard position. You got to have one of them that can knock it down consistently.
Well, I mean, Elfrid Payton has shown. I mean, his offensive ability is a little bit more than ahead of Ntilikina's, and he's got a good drive to the basket. So, I'd probably think he could shoot a jump shot better than Ntilikina can right now.
Well, he can.
Yeah. But the one guy I'm telling you, man, I'm really excited to see is Iggy, dude. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, just like, City for Real's been saying Alpha Wall Street. Ginobili 2.0, man, with Iggy. I'm telling you, dude, he's got all the intangibles that Ginobili had when he came into the Spurs. He's multifaceted. He's a sponge. He soaks up everything. He's a very high intelligent player, and he's fearless. Yeah. That's what I love about him more than anything. This guy is not scared of anybody. Like when he was drafted, he said, I'm not afraid of anybody. And that's pretty bold to say. Being a second round pick, you want to keep your head to the ground as much as possible, but he came out and said, I'm not afraid of anybody. And I think you're going to see that fearlessness when he plays in the game. Like,
I hope so.
He's going to just be one of those pedal to the metal, full motor going, and just like he's going to be a Garden favorite very, very quickly. Okay. I would be shocked if he's not.
Yeah. And guys, yes, we are talking about situational lineups right now. We're not, at least I'm talking about situational lineups and not saying this guy's starting, that guy's starting, just situational lineup. What kind of teams you would put on the floor. If you want an offensive lineup, who are you going to put on the floor? right? Because I'm going to say this. If you want an offensive lineup, you need to have some shooters out there. If I'm putting an offensive lineup on the floor, I think I'm going to put Dennis Smith Jr. out there. I'm going to put maybe Wayne Ellington out there, and people might look at me like I'm crazy, but he can knock down the three. And I think when you have an offensive lineup on the floor, you got to have a guy, you got to have one or two guys that are just knockdown shooters. I'm also putting at the 3 spot, I guess it's between RJ Barrett and Kevin Knox. Or I could put Randall at the 3, Bobby Portis at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5 if I really want an offensive lineup. Right? Because Bobby Portis and Wayne Ellington can help spread that floor out. Dennis Smith Jr., hopefully his 3-point shot has gotten better. He can spread that floor out a little bit. Mitch Robinson can be that the guy that's catching the oops at the rim and those type of things. So I don't know. How does that lineup sound to you all? If just looking for an offensive lineup, if you again, and I may do a whole video just breaking down different lineups as well. I like this is a good topic. But if I want an offensive lineup, what's going to be the top offensive lineup? I guess you don't know until they actually get out there and start working together. And you see the way that they fit. But Dennis Smith Jr., like I said, because he can penetrate and get to the basket. And hopefully he'll be able to knock down that shot. But, I mean, the guy can score. And then Wayne Ellington at the 2. And the reason why I'm putting Wayne Ellington at the 2 is because he can spread the floor. So if you got Dennis Smith Jr. penetrating to the basket, you got somebody you can kick it to. Then the 3 spot, gets a little bit scary for me. I see King Ant G, Nisa saying RJ at the 3. You can go RJ at the 3 too. I'm just wondering if we can put someone there who's going to be more efficient offensively. Maybe Randall could be there. And then, like I said, Bobby Portis at the 4 and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. Is that the strongest offensive lineup? I don't know. Maybe RJ Barrett should be in the lineup to make it the strongest. And then you have RJ Barrett at the 3, Julius Randle at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. But then I'm concerned in that lineup about shooting. I like to have 2 guys in the lineup. If you're talking about an offensive lineup, I like to have 2 guys that can knock it down over 40% from the field, from the 3. Or close to 40% from the 3. You know what I'm saying? But see, G. Andrezzi, I see what you say. You said Randall guarding small forwards now. We're talking about, I'm not even talking about defense. I'm just talking about if we're trying to put out a real strong offensive lineup on the floor. Maybe he can. I mean, he's 6'9". It depends on who you're playing. You may be playing another small forward that's 6'9". It happens in the NBA. It happens. I don't know. There's going to be, there's going to be a lot of lineups, man. There's going to be a lot of lineups out there. There's going to be a lot of lineups out there on the floor that the Knicks will be able to play. I don't know. And so we're talking situational lineups. And in certain situations, it could happen. And maybe he is too big to play the 4 and he's just not able to guard 3s. It's gonna depend on who that 3 is. Who's at the 3. Maybe he can do it. I don't know. And if you want to go small, what if we really want to go small? Sammy Soso, you said Randall at the 3, I'm bugging. We'll see. You never know. You know what I'm saying? We're talking situational basketball right now. What if we want to go small? If we want to go small, you could probably put Randall at the 5 if you want to go small. If you really want to go small. And then see how, opposing 5s, depending on who they are, can deal with Randall at the at the 5. Oh, and Quiet Money. Yeah, I forgot about Trier. If we have an offensive lineup, maybe Trier needs to be in that offensive lineup. And maybe he can be at the 2 instead of Wayne Ellington. My thing is, Trier needs the ball in his hands a little bit in order to, Trier needs the ball in his hands when the ball would probably, so then you got Dennis Smith Jr. and Alonzo Trier sharing the ball, which probably isn't a problem, especially if Dennis Smith Jr. can knock it down from the outside. Then either one of those guys, we know Trier can knock it down from the outside. He usually shoots, he shot over 40 or like 40% from the 3-point line. So we know Trier can knock it down from the outside. So that could maybe work, Dennis Smith Jr. and Alonzo Trier, especially if Dennis Smith Jr. can knock it down from the outside. You got 2 guys that can attack the basket, 2 guys that can knock it down from the outside. Neither one of those guys really are the type of players that's going to run off of screens and be spot-up shooters, though. That's not their game. A lot of things that, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be going on with the Knicks when we talk lineups. I see G. Andresi said Morris is perfect for a small ball 4. I agree. And if you're really going small, maybe you got Randall at the 5 and Morris at the 4. And then maybe Knox at the 3. And maybe Dennis Smith Jr. and Alonzo Trier at the 1 and the 2. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of stuff they can do, man. I feel for Fizdale because he's got a lot of things that he can work for. A lot of things that not that he can work for, a lot of things that he can do, and he's got a lot to sort out. Put it that way. Guillermo, I'm gonna come to you, man. We're talking situational lineups. Right? Guillermo, any situational lineups that you think should be out there? What would be your best offensive lineup, Guillermo?
Best offensive lineup. Just pure offensive lineup. So, again, I like RJ at the point. I would take RJ over DSJ at the point simply because I think that based on what DSJ showed me, I think that he still has a ways to go in terms of facilitating and shooting. At least RJ, not saying he's a great shooter, but I think that the mismatch when you get the pick and roll with him going could be extremely effective. He could use his size on smaller guards from that one position. It could be a total mismatch. And I like him passing out of double teams a lot better than DSJ. I think his mindset's a little bit better than DSJ. To go at the 2, I would have loved Reggie Bullock if he was completely healthy. Reggie Bullock shot like 39% from the 3. But if not, I guess you would go with a guy like Ellington who can shoot from the 3. This is pure offense, obviously not a defensive lineup. And then at the 3, it'd either be between Knox and Iggy. If Knox can hit that 3 like how he was hitting in Summer League, and that's his new form, and he can use his strength to bully guys, I go with Knox. But if not, I would go with Iggy, a guy who can space the floor, drive to the basket, get you a little bit of dirty rebounds, and offset. So that's at the 3. And then at the 4, obviously Randall. Like I said, I really love Randall's offensive potential. He could take up the ball. He could bully guys down low. He has a quick first step. He can shoot the 3 from the left corner. He can pass to guys moving. He can cut to the basket. He does really well with that. And then, obviously because it's offensive, and I've seen Randall play better with a center who is more front-facing versus a guy who plops down. Watch his games versus when he's playing with AD versus when he's playing with Jahlil Okafor. So instead of Mitch Robinson, I'd play Portis at the 5 because Portis can space the floor. Portis is more of a front-to-the-basket guy. He can also post up a little bit, but because he's more front-facing, it allows Randall to kind of move around that low post and not just plod down, but like literally move around the low post, and he moves well with how the game's going. So that'll probably be my best offensive lineup. Start season. Like if we need some buckets, or if Mitchell's out, or we just want to bully some teams are just defensively inept. That'd definitely be a lineup I play for some heavy minutes. And I know you love I love DSJ's potential, but it has to be seen that he can shoot and facilitate. If he can't do that, I like RJ Barrett playing that. And I like that if we told RJ Barrett you are going to be the so-called key to the offense in terms of you're going to be the do everything man. Don't just look to just score, but do everything. I think he could do that. If you watch him pass out double teams, he's really good. And I know it's the 2 summer league games. It's hard to see what he's doing at Duke just because they didn't run it a lot or as much, I guess, with a conventional big man. But if you watch him in those last 2 summer league games, when he played off the pick and roll, it was really effective. In that last game against the Wizards, he played really well with the pick and roll. So I'm not sure how Portis plays in the pick and roll, but you could play a lot of pick and pop with Portis probably just because he could space the floor. He shoot 40% from 3. So yeah, I like that. Offensively, I love that lineup.
Yeah. I definitely see that Portis would be playing pick and pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play too much pick and roll. I don't see him, I mean, I guess he could, but he's not going to be playing above the rim. That's not really his game.
Yeah, but it's just, and we talked about this in the chat, once you give RJ space, because he's not the quickest or the twitchiest of athletes, but when you give him space and he get that steam kind of rolling in that space after the pick, he's a lot more effective. Like you got to give him some space in terms of when you want him to drive. So, yeah, but it does suck that Portis is not a pick and roll guy. And Mitchell Robinson can also play in this lineup because I think he's improved his footwork on the pick and roll. He does that delayed pick and roll really well, where guys are kind of like after the pick, they're kind of like in traffic, and then Mitch kind of just does that little sneaky, he waits a little bit, and then he goes to the basket. If you have that, that's also fine as well. It's just that you need to have Mitchell Robinson away from the post a lot because Randall Randall operates a lot of places on the floor, but I really like if you watch games with Jahlil Okafor who just plods down low, Randall's a lot less effective versus when he was playing with AD Sim, it looked good. It looked like 2 big men who just played like they offset each other really well. They complement each other really well. So Mitch Robinson can play in that, but he just has to stay out of that box so much. And if that means that he's setting picks out on the perimeter and doing stuff like that, so be it. Do some dirty work to get some of these guys open, which is effective. But, a guy like Mitch Robinson can get you those offensive rebounds. He can do the pick and roll, creates, push guys out and help out on the offensive end just by not scoring. So either way, but I like Portis obviously just because of front-facing game that he has.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of lineups, man. There's going to be a lot of stuff that the Knicks will be able to do. I wonder if Fizdale is offensively equipped to be able to use these guys.
What do you mean offensively? You mean like if he has the right players or
no?
Or like his own
interchangeable players. I just wonder if Fizdale has the offensive knowledge. Does he have to actually use these guys in a way that's going to be because. With so many versatile players, it could be really scary for some teams. You know what I mean? To have to match up against us, and can Fizdale use these guys in that way? I don't know.
Yeah, it's also he has to get the right lineup, right? Like it's not I don't want him to do the whole D'Antoni thing where he plays 8 guys, but he can't play certain guys just to appease them. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a lineup that was unexpected, say Iggy for some reason is playing out of his mind, and he's playing better than some of the vets are on the team, and there's some grumblings, he has to, if he's talking about eat what you kill, you can only give all these sayings. I think you have like one time to say them and not live up to them, right? If he says eat what you kill, and Iggy goes on a streak like how Dotson went last year where he's averaging like 15 points for 5 games, and then he just stopped playing. If he does that to, say, a guy like Iggy, or if, say, he does that to a guy, say Portis, right? Or, some guy who's unexpected does that, you could lose a locker room really quickly. Having a lot of weapons is a blessing and then also be a curse based on how you manage it. So he has a lot of work to do, and I agree with you. When I saw with the Grizzlies, does he have a Grizzlies type of team, a bunch of a ball dominant guard who's really good in Conley, Gasol, good big man, Tony Allen to play really good defense, and then a bunch of forwards who can space the floor a little bit, play the 3-and-D, but are really good defensively, kind of give you that presence that they could take up guys and the games could be played ugly. Does he have that? I don't know. So he really has to expand his game, man, and we keep talking about Miami, but Miami was also a very defensive, athletic team. You know what I mean? They could beat you scoring, it would be 90 to 82. You know what I mean? So he has to show some more decks in his or cards in his deck, like you said, man. It can't just be how you play with the Grizzlies, you know, and that's going to be a lot more off ball, a lot more ingenuity with your big men. You know, you got, I know, well, he did show up with Gasol. He wanted Gasol to be basically what Gasol is now in the Toronto, but he has to be a little bit more, you know, he has to be able to play with guys like a guy like Knox, who may not be defensively sound, but who will give you 4 threes off the bench or give you 4 threes in you know, in a game, you know, something like that. He has to be a lot more versatile, you know. So,
you know, there's not a lot that you can, to me, I don't know how much you can take from what he did with the Grizzlies.
Right.
They kind of they kind of had things, they knew what they were going to do. Right. They knew how to play. They had their style of play well before Fizdale got there. You know, he tried to expand some things out and you know, maybe try to move them a little bit away from that, you know, grind it out type of game.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of knew what they were doing. They had vets.
Yep.
They knew how to play basketball. Allen. You know, this is a totally different situation. I don't know how much you can take from the Grizzlies situation, and I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking in general, and apply it to the Knicks. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you.
And also, last thing, guys like Tony Allen, they had a winning pedigree. You know what I mean? Like Tony Allen came from the Celtics, where, you know, who's a guy on the Knicks where, outside of Mitchell Robinson, who is the guy on the Knicks, especially in the backcourt, who says, defense is my identity, and I'm going to do the dirty work? I know Frank, we talk about Frank, but Frank may not be here, you know, he may not be with the team, but who is a guy that's going to be like, all right, I'm not here to necessarily score. I can if you need me to, but I'm here to lock down that other team's best player. And there are going to be a bunch of guys in this team that get a bunch of points because we're getting steals, because I value defense, and I'm going to make everybody else value defense. Where's that vet on this team? You know, I don't know. You know, Todd Gibson's 34. You know, I don't know. I don't know where he's going. Fizdale's the type of guy, he needs generals, because he's not a Popovich guy. He's not that type of guy yet. And what he said last year, I think he lost some people's ears a little bit with the whole eat what you kill, and then he didn't follow through with it. So he needs a lot of help from his vets to really instill what he wants to do, especially on defense.
Yeah. Well, we're about to get to some last words, ladies and gentlemen. We've been on for 2 hours. I think I'm going to do a whole video, you know, just kind of talking about and breaking down different lineups that the Knicks can use. But before I get to last words, I do want to remind everyone once again that the opening night tickets, there's 3 left. And I know this says 2. I'm going to update this for you. All right. I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to reload it. There's 3 left. There you go. You see it on your screen. 3 left for section 315, row 1. So if you want to attend opening night kickoff with us, make sure you get in on it right now, ladies and gentlemen, because they're going to go very fast. I wouldn't be surprised if they're gone tonight. So with that, $165, that's the cost of your ticket. You get to participate in pregame group activities. So, you know, throughout the game, the game doesn't begin until 7:30. We need to be at the Garden by 4 o'clock. All right. But before then, we'll do some pregame stuff. You know, kind of hang out together as a team and all those type of stuff. And not as a team, but as a group.
Payne, I think he's going to be a bench guy, but he could be a perfect point guard.
There we go. Mute him out while I finish this up. All right. So you'll be able to participate in pregame group activities. You'll get a ticket in section 315, row 1 on Chase Bridge. Courtside during the pregame shoot-around. You'll be able to participate in the making of a video for Nothing But Knicks, pregame and postgame interviews. You'll be able to participate in an NBK live stream. We'll be live streaming right there on Chase Bridge. After the game, we'll go down onto the garden floor. We'll shoot some free throws or participate in whatever perk that MSG offers to us. After the game, the group is going to go to Clyde's and we'll, just hang out for a little while, drink, talk about the game, whatever it is. And there'll be prizes and giveaways, as we are congregating throughout the day. So remember, there's only 3 left. Section 315, row 1. It's $165 per ticket. There's only 3 left. Everything you see on your screen is what's included. We're also selling tickets in Section 216. It is behind the backboard. It's $145 per ticket. This offer is only good until Friday. We need to try to get 20 of them off. So if you're interested, make sure you get there and you get it done right now. It's $145 per ticket. The offer ends Friday at 2 p.m. And again, what's included with the ticket? Pre-game group activities. Your ticket in Section 216. Courtside during pre-game shoot-around. You'll be able to participate and be part of an NBK video, pre-game and post-game interviews. There won't be an NBK stream because the stream is going to be taking place up by Section 315 on the Chase Bridge. After the game, you'll be able to shoot foul shots on the garden floor or whatever perk is available to you from MSG. You'll be able to join the group at Clyde's after the game, and then there'll be prizes and giveaways. So, in the chat, I just put a link in the chat. You'll also be able to find a link in the description of this video. Also, in the link in the description of this video, you'll be able to get your Puma gear if you want. Jump onto that link. Or you can go to Amazon and buy any kind of sports memorabilia, hats, shirts, sneakers. You can go to Amazon. Link is in the description where you can buy all your Knicks gear. All right. But remember, the first one, this one right here, Section 315, row 1, there's only 3 tickets left. Section 216, $145. The offer is only good until Friday at 2 p.m. So make sure you jump on those right now because they're going to go quick, ladies and gentlemen. All right. It's almost here. We got 2 months until opening night. So we had a good talk tonight. Even though there's not a lot to talk about, we found something to talk about. All right. Something to talk about. Nat Sprout said, do you think Fizz is going to start DSJ and Elfrid Payton together? I don't think he's going to start them together, but it maybe could work if one of them could end up shooting that jump shot. You know what I'm saying? If Dennis Smith Jr. shoots that jump shot, maybe that could, maybe that could work. Then that would kind of clean up that point guard situation a little bit. Because then maybe Frank does play. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call this a night. We'll be on Friday night. Again, I might start breaking down players Friday night. I don't know. I'm still thinking about, what the topic is going to be Friday night. If you have topics that you'd like for us to discuss that we haven't discussed, leave it in the comment section of this video. Leave it in the comment section and, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do these last words. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. RJ Barrett, he signed with Puma. A multi-year deal. If you're interested in a pair of Pumas, in the description of this video, there's a link to where you can buy Puma gear. If you just want some sports memorabilia, click on the Amazon link. You can get yourself some sports memorabilia. Big shout out to my man Andy. Andy is a VIP member, and Andy won a Frank Ntilikina autographed poster. I'm going to get Andy's information so that I can send him his autographed poster from Frank Ntilikina. Also, be on the lookout because Friday is going to begin a brand new contest. A brand new contest Friday. This time the contest is for an R.J. Barrett rookie card. All right? So if you want, I don't know if you're into sports memorabilia, but if you are into sports memorabilia, you may be interested in an R.J. Barrett rookie card. Who knows? This guy may blow up and be one of the greatest players to bless the game of basketball. You want to have his rookie card. And the rules are going to be very simple. 2 things. The first thing, and this, I'm just going to tell you the first thing, and then there'll be some other bonus things that you can do. But I'll tell you the first thing. To win the R.J. Barrett rookie card, is all I'm going to want you to do is a good deed. That's it. Do a good deed. Help somebody. And I'll have a form where you can fill out and say, this is what I did to help somebody. It's going to be on the honor system, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm going to trust that you did what you said. That's how you win the R.J. Barrett rookie card. Help somebody else. Do a good deed, help somebody else. But all the information will be given to you on Friday. And I'll give you a link to where you can participate in that contest. R.J. Barrett rookie card. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get up out of here. Okay. I'm getting up out of here. I want to get some last words from my guys in here. All right. And I'm going to start with City for Real, and then I'm going to go around the deck. All right. We get some last words. Oh, City for Real, thank you for the super chat. I apologize. I missed it earlier. Thank you for the super chat. You said the Elf of Wall Street is taking over. Remember where you heard it first. New York Knicks all day. I'm telling you, man, if Elfrid Payton doesn't have any fans, he has one. He has one. If he doesn't have any, he has one. I can guarantee you that. Because City for Real is, he's a fan for real. You know,
I'm rooting for the guy, man, because I love the guy since he was in Orlando or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Or whatever, but otherwise, what's up?
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Well, hold on, I gotta mute these guys because now they're gonna start. they gonna start on some other stuff. But anyways, man, hey, that's my guy, man. I'm in room for the guy. I think he was a good addition to the team just because he can put people in the right spots. And with that being said, if you can put people in the right spots and you can get players where they need to be, you are an awesome point guard, even if you're not scoring as many buckets as everybody else. So let's just say that. But anyways, everybody already know. Over Wall Street taking over. Let's do it.
All right, man. All right, peace.
Yeah.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you Friday.
Hey, Sim, are you leaving chat open?
Yeah. I'll leave it open.
Guys,
I'll leave it open so you guys can talk. I'll leave it open.
Yeah, all right.
And if I sound a little bit tired, folks, I'm slurring my speech or something like that. You know, I know I'm skipping and missing words because I'm a little bit tired. Yeah, but Guillermo, you want to give us some last words, man?
Yeah, man. Again, man, I'm just hoping that the NBA gets some characters. And to Tony Crow's point, because Tony doesn't listen. If Frank Ntilikina actually listened to this podcast or this internet show, he would think I was his biggest fan because I used to get killed for all the good things I used to say about Frank. You know what I mean? Like, I hope these guys can ignore the so-called haters. I've never trolled on Frank or any player. I criticized them based on what the games we saw and as the season went along, and there was context to it. It wasn't just me issuing on him. And I'm not a fan. I've seen so-called players before. I let them be on the train or wherever they are. I don't really care to be groupies. But I hope that R.J. Barrett does well with this Puma sneaker. I hope they make Puma hot. That would be great to have a Nick player doing really well in the NBA and making a sneaker hot, and people want to wear the next R.J. Barretts, whatever the hell they're going to call it. So yeah, man, I hope it works out for you, man. I'm really excited for the kid. I like him.
No doubt. Isaiah, Give me some last words, man, so you can go to sleep.
Oh, I know you ain't talking. You the one that's more tired than me.
Yeah, man. Some last words, man. Some last words.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat. Great show tonight. Shout out to my man Kevin for joining the family, joining the video chat family. That's my man. Great show. Can't wait for the opener. Yeah, man. Excited for RJ with Puma, man. That's really exciting. Like, I think RJ has the character, man. I really do. I think RJ, the way he talks in interviews, man. I think he's built for this, and he was ready for it. So yeah, man, I'm excited. Let's get everything going, man.
All right, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get some sleep. And Kevin,
yeah,
give us some last words,
definitely.
Real quick. Hey, Kevin, you there?
I got Sim muted, so I don't know if he's ever coming to me or not.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm giving.
What's up, Sim? My bad.
Some last words, man.
What's up?
Just
going on,
some
Sim?
last words, Kevin.
I'm just looking forward to the season, man. I just want to see what kind of lineups we put together. I want to see what we do in the preseason, see who works well together. But, man, it's going to be hard for me to find minutes for RJ, man. I feel like it's going to have to be at the 2.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. It's going to because there's a lot of competition on this team.
There's a lot of competition. On the team. Yeah, a lot of competition on the team, man.
And I mean, he's the 3rd overall pick, so I mean, he's got to get some minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
gonna see what happens. So.
Yeah. All right, man.
That's
I'll be here
man.
on Friday, man. Hopefully, I'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, I'll try to be around Friday. I got work, but I'll try to be on.
All right, cool. Nate, real quick.
Yeah, man. I really hope that Fizdale, he really when he figures out these lineups, I hope he has winning in his head all the time. And I know that sounds kind of dumb because coaches should always want to win. But I feel like there's times where Fizdale's looking more at the player development mentality than necessarily winning. Like I think he thinks that this team will win in the next years to come. But I mean, I'm okay with him putting a lineup on the court that's going to win his games. Even if it means sitting a Knox down, even if it means giving RJ Barrett a C2, or even Mitch. I just want this team to win, man. I really don't want to go like the 76ers and lose 3 or 4 years of just horrible losses until you finally start winning. I don't know if I could take that. It's just a lot. Last year was a lot. I really don't want to have to go through another year of that. So I just want this team to win. So I hope that Fizdale, everything that comes out of his mouth is, hey, we're out to win. This is a winning team. This is a better team. Let's be cohesive, and let's just go out and get some W's. That's what I really hope that everything comes out of his mouth. I don't want to hear player development because I think that last year that was player development. I think a lot of those players developed and got better. Now it's time to win. We got a better roster.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Hopefully so, man. This is his chance. This is it. This is the time for him to prove himself, at least with the New York Knicks. Andy, real quick.
Yes, I'm happy I could join. It's the middle of the week. I'm going straight to work right now. But it still was fun. Happy that we have a new guy in Kevin and Piran. And I'm happy that FIBA is around the corner. I'm going to be watching, not like most of guys that only look at the box score and critic guys. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm happy going to have an occasion to be watching the games live.
All right, man. Hey, I'm going to reach out to you so I can get your information so I can send you this.
Cool, man. We're going to be in touch. See you Friday, probably.
All right, man. Later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am out. Remember to get them opening night tickets. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again because I've been through it about 3 times, 4 times throughout this stream. I just put the link in the chat once again, so make sure you go check that out. Comment, leave comments. I want to know what you guys want to talk about in the next video, in the next stream. All right, so put it in the comments so we can talk about it. Anyway, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your week. It's only a couple of days left to the week. I'll see you guys on Friday night. And yeah, man. Have yourselves a very, very good rest of your week. I'm out of here. Peace.
That's the deal.